Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire.
What is that, guys? You got it? What is that?
And I started videotaping, and when they got closer, that's when I started freaking out, because I'm like, oh, what in the world is this? We actually didn't even know what to think. We didn't know what it was, where it came from. It just appeared. It was very quiet. It was actually very eerie feeling.
That was probably what many thought when they saw these mysterious bright lights in the night sky. But
okay, people have asked me about, I call them vehicles, okay?
Right.
Now, I did not call them objects. That was too neuter for me.
Okay.
I had a Stanford professor said you ought to call them objects. No. They have all of the qualities of a vehicle. Mm-hmm. They can move. You know, they're just like a missile or anything like that. So that much we can say about them, for sure.
Okay.
So I'm calling it a vehicle.
Okay.
Okay, somebody comes along and says, well, now where would you manufacture one that's 1.5 Earth lengths long? And that's a hard question to answer. However, if you think of it in terms of its the entity, it's just another kind of thing that we've got in our universe. And it can grow and grow and grow and grow.
Look at that! Those are aliens coming down here, y'all. Look at it's coming down the same direction. Oh, it's breaking up. Oh, it's 6, it's 8, it's 9. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Look at that. Oh, look at that. They stop. Look at that shit. Those are aliens.
Sorry, I'm trying to record it.
Aliens.
Oh,
aliens.
Oh, they cut the lights off.
Aliens.
Oh, they cut the lights
Y'all need to be shooting that. Y'all need to be shooting this shit right here.
And they just cruise.
They looking at us. They dividing. They dividing up. We getting invaded. Those are not.
Daniel chapter 12 verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand.
Okay,
So it can be an EMV and it can itself have life.
Uh-huh. So are you not positing the idea that those vehicles contain, beings who are, maybe like us?
Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 5. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of man.
Yeah, I only go along with government images. And if you want to know about people kind of thing, there is the ship that picked up the Voyager capsule at Alameda Naval Shipyard, and they have a picture there of I think it's the Apollo flight that Buzz and Neil were on. But anyway, there is one image there that shows black people getting off.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 4. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Revelation chapter 1, verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in the furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters.
So people with dark skin getting off.
Not dark, black.
Black skin.
Really black. Yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall?
Yeah.
2 Esdras chapter 2, verse 43. And in the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
Well, what?
it's safe. 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
2 Esdras chapter 9, verse 1. And he answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he had made.
Okay, but you're saying things are getting critical because I'm really curious. Are you saying that those craft are coming here? Is that why it's critical?
Time is getting critical because their rulership is almost over with. Just like Revelation say. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. That's what it's all about.
So I'm saying, in effect, if they do, and that there's a good probability that that is possible, then, hey, you got to get with it. You can't wait around. Okay? But you see, no one really in this country accepts the concept that at Saturn, those things are there.
Right.
Well, you just can't hack it. People have got to be made to understand that those things are real.
Right.
2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, yet durst fight.
The presentation of the Space Force flag. So we've worked very hard on this, and it's so important from a defensive standpoint, from an offensive standpoint, from every standpoint there is. As you know, China, Russia, perhaps others started off a lot sooner than us. We should have started this a long time ago, but we've made up for it in spades. We have developed some of the most incredible weapons anyone's ever seen.
This rank is custom designed.
Wow, that's beautiful. Wow, that's it.
And he's the only airman that wears that rank, and will be the only airman that wears that rank. He's the senior enlisted
That's
leader.
fantastic.
Ezra chapter 13, verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. 2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 10. But only I saw that he had sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. 2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Call Halal Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. And I gotta say, Shalom to the elect. Keep pushing this word. All praises.